Social media posts are so important, but publish to your website first. Establish yourself as the author, the originator, and the publisher of that information. When you publish it to your website, you own it. That's the biggest golden nugget I could scream today. Own your own material. Publish it to your website first. It's so important. Then we go out to all these other places. Okay? Let's talk about that now. All right, let's get into the off-page SEO strategy. Everything that we've been talking about so far has to do with on your website. Now we're going to step away from your website. Remember, we're publishing everything to your website first. It's the hub. It's your marketing hub. Your website is the only thing that you can own and fully control on the internet. The only thing that you can fully own and control on the internet. You do not own any of your social media channels. You do not own any of your social media profiles or pages. They are owned by the company that you're going through. Do you think, I don't want to mention names. Yes, I do. Facebook.com. When you go to Facebook and you publish on Facebook, it belongs to Facebook. It's not yours. So publish first to your website. That establishes you as the author and originator of the work. Then go to Facebook and say, hey, wrote a great article about XYZ. You can do that on all the social media channels. So social media posts are so important, but publish to your website first. Establish yourself as the author, the originator, and the publisher of that information. When you publish it to your website, you own it. That's the biggest golden nugget I could scream today. Own your own material. Publish it to your website first. It's so important. Then we go out to all these other places. Okay? Let's talk about that now. So your social media posts. Last week I showed you how to use a tool called Buffer to set up social media posts to multiple channels in one place. If you missed that, go back to episode 12. Feel free to forward right through my nonsense talking until you see featured topic. That's where we talked about the social media. So tune into that section and hear and see and watch how we created those posts. And ask me your follow-up questions. So you can pre-schedule your social media posts just like we were talking about, and make sure to link to your blog articles. And I also wrote subpages because I wanted to make a note. A lot of people, when they publish on social media, they just include a link back to their homepage. Okay, that's good, but it's not best. It's good. It's fine. It's fine if you publish a link to your homepage. That's no problem, except I want to tell you how much more valuable it is when you're publishing links to your subpages. So not just your homepage, gilbertstudios.com, but the subpage that relates directly to the thing that you're talking about in that moment. So it might be like gilbertstudios.com/services/webdesign. That's the page you want to get out there. That's the page you want to put a link to, because you don't just want links to your homepage. You want links to all the pages of your site. All of your articles, all of your individual pages. Oh, you have a question on that? I answer that on my frequently asked questions page. Here's a link to that. Now, I want to caution you to something, especially on Facebook. If Facebook does not like it when you publish links that take you away from Facebook. So they may just suppress your posts if all you're doing is posting links to other websites. I learned this the hard way because, as you can imagine, as a website designer, I want to share a lot of websites with you, right? I want to share all the websites that I'm publishing and that I've created for my clients. So I used to post a lot of links about every website I would build and every new one and every new client. Here's a link to them, and here's a link to her, and here's a link to him. And you know what I found? People could not see those posts because Facebook did not like that I was sharing links that took you away from Facebook. So not all the social media platforms work like that, and it is valuable and helpful to publish links on social media to your posts and pages. I just would encourage you to not make it every one of your posts. I would always include a link in my posts and discovered that was not the best thing to do. So now I'm doing it the other way around, where most of the posts that I publish do not have any links in them. And then you can put a link in a comment, or you can invite people to ask for the link and then message it to them. There's a lot of little tricks like that. So you do want to publish links to your blog articles and your subpages, but especially if you're on Facebook, you don't want it to be every one of your posts. Does that make sense? Okay, here's another thing I want to tell you about. Did you know you could create articles on LinkedIn? Not just posts. You can create posts like, hey, wrote an article about XYZ, but you can also create full-blown articles. Now, my recommendation to you is that you publish that article on your website first as a blog. And then you go over to LinkedIn and you can also publish it there. And at the very end of the post, you can write, this article printed with permission by your name, original article is here, and then put a link back to your blog article. So this is doing a couple things. You're using the power of another social media platform like LinkedIn. It's huge. It's very heavy in the business world right now. So if you're a business to business like I am, you want to make sure to publish articles to LinkedIn. But my recommendation is, and please, anyone correct me if I'm wrong, but I would publish those to your website first, then I'd go over and cross-post them to LinkedIn and include that link back to your blog post. And you can write that it's published there, it's reproduced there, or reprinted or republished with permission, because you're the one that did it. So you can give yourself permission to republish that article on LinkedIn. So that puts it over on LinkedIn just in case people can stumble across it there. And guess what? It puts another link back to your blog. So use the LinkedIn articles area to publish content to LinkedIn. But my recommendation is you do it to your own website first to fully establish and credit yourself as the author and originator of that work. And then go publish it to LinkedIn, link back to your website. You can kind of do the same thing on YouTube. YouTube is huge right now. Are you creating video? Do it. We're creating a video right now. If you're watching me right now, you're participating in the creation of my video that I'm going to go publish on YouTube, and you better believe I'm going to have links back to my website when I do it. I don't know how long it will take to do this as a strategy, but I do know that it works. YouTube is huge. Google is the #1 search engine in the world. YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world. And when Google realized that was happening, Google bought YouTube. So now Google owns the #1 and the #2 search engines in the world. Pretty clever, Google, pretty smart. So people go to YouTube to search for their questions and answers. If you've got videos that have those questions as the title or contain that information in the description, you may be found for that topic. They'll watch your video, even a 30-second video, even a minute video. We're recording an hour video here. I don't know if hour videos really get watched a whole lot on YouTube as much as the two-minute, 5-minute videos do. I'm building both of them right now, and I encourage you to do the same thing. You may be shy behind a camera. You may not want to do it like this. First of all, I'd say get over it, because this is the world that uses a lot of video. But that's okay. You can take baby steps. Your video doesn't have to have your face in it. Look, watch this. Boom. Here's a video. I'm recording a video right now. You don't even have to see my face. You can just watch me with my slides. I can go backward and forward. Let's jump back to this page just so I can say, and then you'll write an article, and then you'll post it on social media, and then come and make a LinkedIn article, and then make a YouTube video. See, look, this is a video right here. Even without my face. Start like that. That's a baby step for you. Start with that. Record some videos that don't even have yourself on video. Don't you get it? You can use screen capture software. You want a really quick tool? I hear you saying, how do I do that? There's a lot of different tools you can use. One of my favorites that I recommend to you that's totally free to get started is called Ice Cream Recorder. Like an ice cream cone? Ice cream cone? Ice Cream Recorder. Just Google that. Ice Cream Recorder. You can get started with that for free. Record a couple little videos, little screen capture videos, do a PowerPoint presentation, talk over the top of it. Boom. Now you've got a video you can publish on YouTube and your blog and post a link right back to it from YouTube. Go check out how I'm doing at the Ask A Web Geek website and the Ask A Web Geek YouTube channel. Do it just like that. I publish the video on YouTube. I create an article on my website. I put the video from YouTube in my article. I put the link to the article back on YouTube. And it creates this whoop, 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 whoop link. Round and round and round we go. I'm linking to YouTube. YouTube's linking back to me. Everybody is happy. Someone could stumble across the video on YouTube and then find me, or they could come to my website and then they're seeing my YouTube video that's published there. Do you see how it all ties together? It's kind of like a web. Maybe you've heard of the web. Ask me any questions about this. I'm going to keep going, okay? So you've got social media posts, LinkedIn articles, YouTube videos. What else? Guest blogs. This is a great strategy. You can find other people that are in either similar fields or complementary fields, and you could ask them if it would be okay if you wrote an article for their blog. And you know what? A lot of people are very interested in that because it's a win-win situation. They get the opportunity for someone to add content to their website, and your payment in return is the link back to your website. It's a win-win. So find other people, your friends, your colleagues, your associates, those you know in networking groups, those you know locally, or even those you stumble across the internet, and look for an opportunity to be a guest on their blog or a guest on their podcast. If you can be a guest on someone else's channel, that gives you a chance to have a link back to your website, and it gives them a chance to have more content added to their website. It is a win-win situation. So look for an opportunity to be a guest. And the very last thing I want to tell you about is directory listings. You may not even know that this is a thing that exists because it is brand new over the last couple of years. So real quick, I'm going to tell you about directory listings. What's directory listings? Let me say it like this. For the last 150 years, when you opened your business, you got yourself into the Yellow Pages. Kids, the Yellow Pages is a book that they used to publish with everybody's phone number in it. And if you were a business, you had to get yourself in the book, the Yellow Pages. And you were prepared to pay $300 to $500 a month to be in that book. It was the cost of doing business because there was no internet, there was no websites. You only had the book and the telephone. So if you wanted to reach the plumber, you'd open the book, you'd find the number, you'd pick up the phone and you'd call, "Help, my toilet's overflowing." But now we are in a whole new era. Every one of us has got one of these things, and this is what we use now as our Yellow Pages. Oh, it just buzzed. That was creepy, right? We're attached to these things all the time. So what do we do about it? Well, we now have these things called directory listings online. You see, about 100 people all at the same time thought, I know what I'll do. I'll create a website and I'll put every business I can find into it, and I'll be the next Yellow Pages online, and I'll make $1 bazillion. Well, that's great idea, except 100 people all had that idea, and now they're all jockeying for position in the world of the internet. You may have heard of the big guys, Google, Yahoo, Bing, Apple, Facebook. They all have their own version of the directory listings. But here's the challenging part for you. Number one, you may not have even known this existed. Number two, you don't know what information they are choosing to list on their website about you. You didn't even know these 100 websites existed, did you? How do you know if they're listing the right information? Well, I have a resource for you because I'm not going to leave you in the cold. I'm going to tell you about this free tool that's on my website that you can use anytime you want to. This is how it works. You go to scan.gilbertstudios.com. SCAN, scan, you're going to scan your listings, scan.gilbertstudios.com. Here's how it works. You put in your business name, address, and phone number. Again, think of it like the Yellow Pages. I'm not looking for your home address. I'm looking for your business address, especially if you're a brick and mortar business, especially if you have an office location that people are going to be using the map app in their phone to find you. You need to have your listing correct and as up to date as possible. So use this free tool right here, scan.gilbertstudios.com. Pop in your business name, address, and phone number and hit go. And it's going to do a live scan right in front of your eyes. It's going to go through all the different websites. It scans between 60 and 80 different sites, and it shows you in real time where you show up, where you're missing, if you do show up, what information is correct. People move, they change addresses, they change phone numbers, and what happens over time is you can get this kind of mismatch of information all over the place. This is actually damaging your SEO because you didn't even know this was happening, because Google is looking at all those websites to see if Google is serving the most correct information. And if all of your directory listings are the same name, same phone number, same address, Google's 100% confident that it's serving the right information. But if you've got this mismatch stuff spread out all over the internet, which a lot of us do, most of us, then Google's not confident. They're like, well, I'm seeing a couple different addresses, I'm seeing a couple different phone numbers, and that hurts your ranking in their algorithm. So make sure you've got all your listings squared away, all the correct information, all congruent, all linking back to your website. Links back to your website. Every one of those directory listings is a link back to your website. That is super helpful. That is off-page SEO. Have a directory listing, have it linked to your website. It's okay if it links to your homepage there. Okay, you can use this free tool. You can take a look at how you're appearing now online. And if you choose to, you could go through each one of those websites in the scan tool. You can actually click and it will take you there. So let it take you there. If you want to, you'll have to spend some time to sign up with each one of those websites to be able to claim and correct that listing. Or if you want a super time saver, I have an amazing service that starts at only $99 a month. There's no long-term commitments or contracts or anything. You can get started as little as 1 month or a bunch of months, right? One month at a time, 99 bucks a month, and it will correct and fix all of these directory listings. So your first step is just to check it out, just to see how you exist and how it shows up online. And then if you have any questions, reach out to me. There's going to be a button with my contact information inside that report. So just reach out to me if you want to get started or you're interested in what that looks like. Okay? A lot of stuff to throw at you today. I had a lot of really great information to share with you. So I invite you to please ask me your follow-up questions. Send me a message, email cj@askawebgeek.com, or come to our Facebook group and create a post, or tweet me your questions, and I will be sure to answer those. This was packed with information. I had a lot to share with you today. Hopefully you found some really good golden nuggets today. I invite feedback. Tell me what you liked, and tell me what questions you still have. To go to scan.gilbertstudios.com to look up your listings and see how you're showing up and what needs to be fixed. This is a totally free service, and you can use this report to correct your listings on your own time, or ask me about that other service that will save you a bunch of time for a pretty nominal fee considering everything it does. And I don't even have time to go into all the features and benefits of what that software can do, but I'd be happy to show you if you're curious. We understand the internet is a jungle. It's so easy to get lost, fall down hidden traps, and not get where you want to go. You want to join up with a tribe of people, hire a well-trained guide that can lead you through and get you where you want to go. Hope you have a wonderful week. Have an amazing week. Have a wonderful website Wednesday, and we'll see you next week in the web jungle. God bless. The internet's a jungle. Roar!